Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video I'm going to show you the settings, key bindings, and gameplay controls that I changed to get the best Battlefield experience possible and to maybe even improve your game. Now we're going to go right into it with, first of all, the controls. Now for the basic controls, this is pretty personal. It depends on how you play, but I like to have a lower aim sensitivity. It might seem high at 20%, but I have 800 DPI out of game. I made a video on how to improve your aim. I'll leave a card up in the right hand corner of the video if you want to check that out, so I won't really go over what I do to improve my aim or why I have low mouse sensitivity. So we're just going to keep going and skip over that. Now the second thing that I change is the double tap forward to sprint. When I'm laying down, I don't like to have the accident of actually pressing my W key twice and then I start sprinting forward. I hate that, so I took that off. The next thing I changed is the soldier weapon zoom. I like to have it on toggle because I feel that after a while your finger kind of starts hurting if you always have to click and hold to zoom. So that's the second thing I changed. Now for the advanced tab setting, this is where it gets interesting. You can actually change the sensitivity for each soldier zoom. So for every magnification in the game, you can change the sensitivity independently. I have it set to 75% to all, and I find that that's the best for me. But as I said, this is something very personal. You're going to have to try and test it out and see what works best for you. Now, the next thing that I changed is for vehicle driver controls. I decouple aiming from turning. What this means is that usually if you turn your tank, the turret will follow. But having it decoupled means that when you turn your tank, the turret's not going to turn at the same time. It's going to stay where you were aiming. So I just prefer playing it like this, and I find it very useful because I hate turning my tank and having to actually keep moving my mouse to keep my turret where it was pointing in the first place. Now let's talk gameplay. So for the basic gameplay controls, the first thing that I change is the hit indicator color. Now I changed the color for every one of them, so basically if I get anything but a headshot, it's blue, headshots are red, and kill shots are green. Now it doesn't matter which color code you use, but I would strongly suggest changing the colors so you just know whether you hit your enemy in the head, in the body, or if you actually killed them. You'll get that kill confirmation with the color, as well as it's going to say on your screen you killed whatever enemy, and I just find it something very useful to have, and it's not very complicated to change. The next thing I changed is the mini-map size. So I have it set to 140%. I'll change it down to 100 so you guys see what it looks like. So right now you see how small that is. That is way too small for a mini-map with that much information on it. I mean, you have so much information on a mini-map that why wouldn't you make it bigger? And besides, the bottom left-hand part of my screen, I don't really use it you don't really get much going on in that side of the screen, or for any bottom sides for that matter. So I change it to 140% because I feel as though you see spotted enemies, you see spotted vehicles, you see flags, you see dead enemies. So when you're playing as a medic or anything else, you actually have a big part of the map that you can see, and that's just so useful that making that bigger is going to be a big advantage for you. Now for the next part, for the advanced gameplay settings, I changed nothing in here. The only thing that I turned off was parachute auto deploy because I hate when I spawn on somebody that's parachuting and it auto deploys the parachute. I'd just rather do a low deploy parachute because I feel as though if you deploy your parachute too high, enemies are just going to be able to shoot you down that much easier, and if you actually deploy very low, they're going to have a lot less chance of hitting you. Now moving right along to the key bindings. Now the key bindings that I changed on foot are I use crouch toggle and I change it to left control. Prone is C. And then the next thing that I change is the melee attack. I have two options. I either have T or mouse 2, which is scroll wheel when I press it. The grenade, I change it to J. The fire mode. Now the fire mode, I don't change it that much as opposed to when I was playing Battlefield 4, but I put it on V. It's a key that's close to my other keys, but I don't use it all that much. But if I need it, it's there. Gas mask is B. For me, that key is really close because I have a special keyboard, but get a key that you're going to be used to because there's so much gas in Battlefield 1 that you're going to need to put your gas mask on more often than not. Now the switch weapon. Now this is one of the most important ones. I put it to mouse 3, which is a thumb button. Now what switch weapon does is it allows you to switch between primary and secondary very fast. Or let's say you have a gadget out. Let's say I have my flare gun out. Well, if I press mouse 3, it's going to automatically take out my primary weapon. Now, as opposed to pressing number keys or using the scroll wheel, using the thumb on the mouse, you don't really use this button for anything else other than using the mouse buttons on the side. So why would you not put something like that instead of using the number keys on the top of your keyboard and taking your fingers off of your movement buttons? So this is the most important part. Always keep moving. If you stay still in Battlefield 1, you will more than likely die. So this is why I changed it to mouse 3, so that I can quickly switch between my two weapons or quickly switch back to my primary weapon if I have a gadget out as I'm showing you on screen. Now let's go back into the key bindings real quick and scroll down. For the rest, the thing that I changed is the zoom minimap. I have it down to mouse just so I can quickly switch between the zooms. If I'm in a tank, I'll make it so that I can see more of the map in the minimap, and if I'm playing mostly close quarters, I'll zoom in closer to actually see like more details in the buildings and actually see more easily where enemies are hiding if they are spotted. Now, the last thing that I changed was the full map key. Now I have it set to F. Now F is very close to your movement keys on the keyboard, and I have it set this way because if I'm running around and let's say right now I want to see how many enemies there are in Echo that are taking it if they're spotted. So I can just easily press F and see, well, I have no teammates there, so I might want to go and actually help defend E. Oh, see, they're spotted now. Now you can see on the map, so I'm gonna probably need help when I go there. So it's just very easy to pull up an entire the entire map and see what's happening and see where you might be needed or anything else of the sort, instead of taking your hand off of like any key and going to M, which is at the other end of the keyboard for most of us. It just takes away some of that movement, which is, as I said earlier, very important in Battlefield 1. So I hope this helped you, and maybe you're going to change some of your controls or just find out more about Battlefield 1 with everything that you can do and modify. I hope it will make you a better player. I know it has made me a better player, changing all these settings. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channels for more videos like this one. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.